Yeah, everything is back. Okay.
And we're back.
As you guys are loading back in, so what was the last thing you heard me say? Because I was talking before I realized it was frozen.
Statue. You were about to. You pointed an arrow to that one statue.
Ah, okay. So yeah, off to your right. I feel like a tour guide now. Off to your.
Can you reload the image again?
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Yep. There you go.
Oh God.
It's so big. Why did the content Okay, you can see a large moss-covered statue overlooking a lake. Seems to depict an elderly Chelton man holding a sword up to the heavens. It's by far the largest and one of the tallest structures. He is wearing a circlet and bracers, and one of his arms, or his other arms, not holding the sword, seems to be missing at the elbow. Masika would kind of point it out as you guys are heading north along the wall, and she would say, that statue, in its day, was brighter with gold and silver, but it depicts the leader, King Osa the First, one of the beret. She kind of like gestures towards like the circlet and bracers he's wearing, and she says, he wears the Negus Negusti, the Prince of Princes, reigned for 1,500 years and was still reigning when I last I knew.
He reigned for 1,500 years?
Mm-hmm.
Reign all the time.
He was the leader. Like,
so the beret were not limited to lifespans, right? Because they're like demigods, so they can.
It's like, well, I don't know about all of them. There were many beret throughout the years, but Osa, he was very long-lived, most powerful. Some claimed he was the actual, an actual avatar, an extension of Ubtao, and certainly when Ubtao absconded his throne, he stepped forward, never sitting in the throne, but for all intents, he was our king.
What? Was he a good king?
He's like, well, we thought so.
I mean, 1,500 years or so.
Like, until the trouble with the Shoutins and the we reigned peacefully. We lived harmoniously with our neighbors, and sure, there was land disputes and other things as any civilization would have, but until the Shoutins started meddling with whatever their dark magics were and went to war against us, it was a golden age.
Yeah.
And then even the land itself turned on you by the looks of it.
Turned on them, potentially.
Yeah, like flooding or whatever.
What I mean is if the Shoudin won, it may have been the land turning against that more so.
Maybe.
She turned, she's like, oh, the Shoudin didn't win. Raz Nisi wiped them from the earth. So the reason for his exile. No, the war that I spoke of earlier was against the Batiri hordes that were assaulting our city.
Cool.
Right.
Well, they were blessed by your god, or...
Well, so who came first, the Batiri or the Ashau? Which happened...
The eternal question.
The Ashau happened before the Batiri War.
Oh, okay. I see.
Well,
because I thought it was against the Batiri that Beret raised the undead horde to fight, And that's why they were kicked out.
No. If you're referring to the exile of Nisi, that was because of his atrocities committed against the Shaodan, the genocide. It wasn't the raising
Above
of the
and
dead.
beyond.
Ubtao granted him by divine purpose and power over the undead to raise them to fight for Mezro. That was never the issue. The issue was what he did to the Shaodan people.
Butchery. Was it not? Like, he was women, children, no discrimination, right?
He, as far as legends hold, he wiped every single living Shaodan off the face of Chult. And for that, he was exiled by the other Beret. Later, he brought his armies to the defense of Mezro when the Batiri hordes were attacking, hoping, I assume, to gain favor, perhaps his spot back. I don't know what happened with that, though. I can only assume that this, and she kind of gestures around, is the aftermath of that war, but the flooding, I mean, this could only be a natural disaster, right?
Or
Who knows?
who knows?
Power absolute. Phenomenal cosmic power.
Yeah, for some reason I had that the Ashao were driving the goblins. That's what I, Batiri attacked, a great enemy came, the Ashao driving the goblins. Nasiri raised a great army to fight and was bad,
That happens to me too. Like, okay. Well, I mean, hope the place we're heading to, by all reason, should have hopefully some of the answers we're looking for, or you're looking for.
Yes.
And hopefully it'll be there for public info.
She nods. She's like, well, we'll find out, I suppose. It doesn't take you long to cover the whole distance of this wall. Even at a leisurely pace, it's not that far. And you find yourselves at another tower here. Here, however, there is a door that leads into the tower. It is open, and inside there is a spiraled staircase. There's another door on the landing across from you, as well, that you assume leads to the other wall. But she points downwards. You can see the bottom of this tower, because you can see down the spiraled stairs. The bottom floor is flooded. There's water kind of stagnating in there. But there is another two exits from the bottom as well that are just wide open. One you can see from the top of the wall that leads into this agriculture district. The other, kitty corner to that, leading out into the main.
Oh, we may as well go.
Yeah, go down into the water.
Down
go
towards
out,
the temple.
Out the exit.
Yeah.
Well, we own this place.
Yeah, you head down through the water. Outside here, it's about like waist deep, kind of circular, with some large steps. It looks like this whole thing is kind of just raised up on like this incline with a circular staircase surrounding it. The structure itself is massive, dominating this entire central platform. It is. It seems to be, although there's plenty of vines covering it. There is basically just tall spires encircling a tower of crystal and gold. Each spire is linked to the center by a slender buttress, and the whole structure is draped in vines and creepers. It is a spectacular 9-story edifice of crystal and gold.
So much shiny.
You can't see inside. There's two massive gates that are probably several stories tall, but rather thin actually. They're not super wide, that dominate the center structure. There doesn't seem to be any other way in. No other doors that you can see.
Is there anybody around?
You would see over on the left here, there are several docked boats. Not large boats, they'd probably hold maybe a dozen people. But you don't see anybody around them. Maybe they're inside, you're not sure. There's nobody on the outside that you can see. At least not on this side.
Okay.
Maybe we'll steal a boat so we don't have to walk around in this muck.
Let's not steal.
It's not stealing. It's like Uber.
You guys make your way across, or?
Yeah.
Okay. When you get to the stairs and kind of like pull yourself out of the, well, not really pull yourself out of the water. You can just like walk up. The stairs aren't like giant stairs. They're
Even if it was like 2 feet deep, I was just swimming over.
just doing that thing where you just drag yourself along the bottom with your hands. You know? Everybody's done that. Come on.
As Corey gets really defensive weirdly. Come on, everyone's done that. No.
Don't give me shit for that. I know that everyone's done that.
I know you've all done it. Don't look at me like I'm the freak. You're the freak. So,
I was doing the Spider-Man wall hang.
Oh yeah, everybody did maybe not everybody, but
Spider-Man wall hang.
Everyone who likes Spider-Man did the wall hang thing off the side of the pool, right? You know, pretending you're hanging off a building. Yeah. No, sure. Just me.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so you climb up out of the water. Masika would kind of like point towards the large doors, and she says, if the enchantments still hold, you'll find that the temple is not. It can be disconcerting, for those not familiar. And then she kind of like gestures to you all. She's like, let me show you a bit of what I mean. And she kind of like gestures for you to follow her, like on the stairs, like this direction.
Sure.
Yeah.
And all the while, Baz is just sort of looking up at the place and marveling at the architecture. He's like he's a chef first, and all that stuff, but he still has his roots in masonry and building structures, and probably the
temple
most
is
looking building he's ever seen.
Yeah, and this building, it's like, as far as you can tell, there's no like, it's a single piece of crystal. Like it's not like there's different pieces like welded together or like seams or anything. It looks like it's just
holy
he's
shit.
Just like, how?
Like it's been
How?
carved out
How?
of a
Corey.
giant crystal.
Yeah.
Corey,
Yeah.
how much is that worth?
7. He's 7.
But he would know.
As you kind of like move even like 150 paces or so around the steps, as you're watching this building and looking up at it, the strange thing is, seemingly the building seems to be rotating with you, so the gate is always directly center in the building.
What?
We're on a merry-go-round.
What's happening?
And Masika kind of smiles, and she's just like, as I said, it can be a bit disconcerting.
That's curious magic.
Right. Okay, but what if I go over here and I'm like step further away from everybody?
Yeah, from your perspective, it's always directly facing you.
So is it facing you guys or is it facing me?
Both.
What?
Is it an illusion?
It's always facing you, Aelin.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
always facing the person.
What does it mean?
doing it.
Wait, so if I close my eyes, does it turn towards you guys?
Or illusion?
I mean, it's facing them as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No matter whoever is looking at it, to that person, it looks like it is facing them.
Is that real or illusion? That is it like a
Masika
magical...
kind of smiles and looks at you, Blackwood, and she's like, "Oh, I assure you, it is very real." She's like,
is it bigger on the inside?
And she kind of, when you say that, she kind of grins even wider.
Welcome to the TARDIS.
You can't call her that.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be the white whale of mapping, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool.
She's like, she kind of like steadies herself a bit and kind of becomes more serious, and she kind of takes a deep breath. She's like, it's been so long since I've beheld this. She's like, well, shall we go in?
Yes,
Tally ho.
absolutely.
Please, let's see this.
And okay, you guys head up towards the door.
Hold on, I'm gonna put my hands out really quick. It's like just one moment. If there are Flaming Fist or whomever inside there that are desecrating this place, what do we do?
Because without missing a beat, says we
mean-
destroy them.
Yeah, nobody outside needs to know.
Kind of, yeah.
You mean
That's what I was thinking
knock him
about.
unconscious?
Make them go to sleep.
Forever.
Should we get in?
No.
They just sleep.
Only dream.
As Mhm.
What's the trick
I
to get in?
just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Are we on the same page?
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Stop them.
We all know exactly what to do.
we will prevent them from doing that, even though it could potentially put us in. Maybe.
Aelin.
What? Baz said it.
I'm
gonna start casting detect magic ritual while they're debating.
I just want to establish a certain level of protocol, I suppose, amongst the group, so that we're not, like, oh, there goes Baz going rogue again.
Quick question. When that mummy woke up and attacked us in Mbala, was that us desecrating?
It attacked us as soon as we opened the crypt door.
Yeah.
But there was evil, like we had a hag there, so we didn't know what was going on. It did have a warning on the front, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why we should talk to these guys and tell them, hey, no, don't do this. It's not cool.
I guess
Or
I'm imagining in my head this beautiful structure, and there's people inside that are just chipping away at it and really being real buttholes.
yeah. Here's what we do. We let them wake up the mummy, and then we don't help them.
No.
Fair, I
And
could
it's clean.
talk to the mummy now.
that
No,
won't
that's
blow
a
up in their face.
technicality. It's not the spirit of the rules.
Well, let's just take it one step at a time. As we'll greet them with the pointy ends at first, and then see what happens. If they're being jerks. But I'll
First
follow
things
your guys'
first.
lead.
We attack them, then we talk.
Didn't you guys learn anything from
But I
the
will
frost,
digress to you
frost
guys.
giant? We got to talk first.
Well,
We did talk first.
We did talk.
I've been practicing.
We haven't even went in yet.
Exactly.
Well, trouble seems to follow us, or we started something like that. I haven't figured out which one.
I was the
But
diplomat, so it went pretty good, all things considered.
good to have conversations like this.
And to be completely clear, I don't want any of that to happen. I hope that no one's in there doing any things. I just want to establish a little bit of a understanding just in case.
Fair.
And the understanding is that she will defend her temple, and we're with her, so we probably should help her.
Good,
Yeah,
let's go
we
see
can-
what's
I
inside.
didn't say
Let's go see what's inside.
Does she have to do something to actually allow us to actually get to the doors, or we just have
Well,
to?
I mean,
approach
they're
them?
always in front of you.
Oh, I thought it was
Temple
like
does it for you.
okay. I thought it was like kind of that permanently always in a certain place, no matter what. But a trick.
So-
but no,
Wait.
you're right. I think that's right.
So what happens? What happens if somebody opens the door, but somebody else is standing over there and they see the door in front of them? Does the door open?
we find out.
Go
You want-
back over and stand over there and see what happens when we open the door.
The world explodes.
I'm gonna
Don't
go
stand
over
in the doorway. There's a warning on the door. Do not stand in doorway.
Mind the door.
Do you want to move off to the side, Helen?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you following Masika up the stairs?
I'm going up the stairs. Yes.
Yeah, we'll meet you there, Aelin, because it's probably gonna follow you.
Yeah, like I'll go up the stairs too to approach the door, but over on my side.
Sure.
But somehow we'll just end up at the door at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're approaching, the door kind of creaks, and as you're getting closer, the door seems to be getting more and more open.
Well,
Self-opening
Oh,
doors.
that's
is it
cool.
is it opening for you guys too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The technology is
Wow.
amazing.
Aelin, how are you doing this?
I don't know.
As you approach, you can see like a very small kind of like antechamber, that's just got like these kind of like tiled, like polished, like gleaming floors, just in multitudes of different colors. Sunlight streaming in from above, through the various like crystal windows high above, massive like domed roof. And in front of you, inside there are three kind of like archways, each of which has a closed door in it. Yeah, you find yourself standing like right in front of the main doors, together.
What?
Yep.
Masika nods, takes a deep breath, and steps through the main door and vanishes.
Whoa.
Vaporized.
Masika?
Obviously a teleport effect, I'm hoping.
Guess we'll find out.
Does the doorway look magical to you?
Has my detect magic completed yet? How long was the walk and were they talking?
It'll be a few more minutes if you want to wait.
I mean, she just vanished.
A couple more
I don't.
minutes.
If she's already gone in, I don't.
Yeah, I think we should go.
Let's not dilly-dally.
Let's go.
She might already be killing Flaming Fist.
Yeah.
No, I'd run in. Wait,
Or hugging them.
talk.
They're
First.
hugging. They're hugging.
Okay. When you step through, whoever's in the front vanishes to those behind. Inside, you find yourself in a long hallway. You're all together. Masika's in front of you, about 10 feet. A long hallway lined with pillars stretching before you. There are onyx statues standing in alcoves on the left and the right, depicting men and women in commanding poses. An archway filled with a dead blackness looms at the far end of the hall. Looking behind you, you can see just kind of like a shimmering kind of like white portal where the archway was that you walked into.
Are these the statues of the beret, Masika?
Masika doesn't seem to hear you. She just kind of like about 10 feet ahead of you. She kind of steps forward a few more feet and then just kind of like kneels down and just kind of like bows her head down just in silence. You can see she is like her shoulders are kind of like hitching a little bit. Obviously she's kind of like softly crying, not like sobbing, but
Full on, like, falling, crying.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
give her a minute
Yeah.
while I finish my
Ritual.
Ritual.
I'm just gonna be scanning around the whole hallway.
I'm just looking at the statues.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah,
great
so-
statue, isn't it, Aelin?
yeah. So the statues, they seem to be carved out of like solid onyx. In these, but they're in like alcoves, so you can't really see, and they're kind of like staggered on each side. There's 7 of them leading down to the end. You can't really see into the alcove to see the full-on statue until you're like almost at them. So you kind of see them like one at a time. The first one, each one is probably like 50 feet from each other. So this hallway goes like 400 or 500 feet.
Jeez. And
Holy
based
shit.
on the size of the temple, clearly we're in a different space. Because based on like it wasn't 500 feet long from the outside, so
Yeah. It didn't look that big from the outside.
A pocket
Right.
realm kind of idea.
The first statue is depicting what looks to be like an elderly man, commanding pose, wearing a circlet on his head, with a single sword held in both hands, with bracelets just like Masika's, with the symbol of Ubtao on them. I'm just holding it kind of imperiously in front of him. There is a plaque. It is you'd be able to read it. If you read,
I
if you
would?
read
Oh.
Archie can, as well. Donaquin, you can read it. It's in Chultan, not Old Omuan. And it says it just says Osa the first. Masika kind of like just kind of like sits there in the middle of the hallway. Doesn't say anything, doesn't move at all as you approach. So she's like, if you're up near where the first alcove is, she's like 30 feet behind you now.
As soon as Donaquin says, if he says that it's Osa,
Yeah, like I was saying, as soon as I know what it is, and so like I'll be translating things stuff for the group as they go on stuff, and also trying to just see if I know anything else about these stuff, different gods and stuff like that as well. Choreographed along the way.
I'm gonna start running from alcove to alcove, trying to find one that looks familiar.
Sure.
She'll probably be at the end.
So Aelin just like takes off down the hall. And he can move pretty fast. Azaka kind of like hangs back a bit, and she kind of like looks back at Masika, and then she kind of looks at you guys, and she's just like, I don't feel like I should be here. Anyways, it's a strange feeling. So quiet, and it's literally like dead quiet. Like there's no sound in here.
I can understand the feeling, but I would just take it in while you can.
Yeah, so the rest of you, are you doing anything? As Aelin starts like looks at the first one, like looks at the plaque, looks up at the statue, and then like takes off down the hallway. Are you like are you like sprinting or just kind of like jogging down the hallway?
Yeah, not sprinting, but definitely moving quickly. Just trying to find one.
Like I was just kind of confused. Like, why is it moving so fast? Does he know something I don't?
I think he might be looking for a specific statue.
Oh.
The next statue in the second alcove is of a woman. She's kind of standing with both of her arms kind of out like this. Behind her, there is a depiction of what looks like carved like waves, kind of like splashing in like this arc. She looks like she's in kind of like ringmail of some sort, and is holding above her head a rod that's kind of entwined with looks like serpents kind of twining around, but on closer inspection they look actually more like eels. She's kind of like holding just directly above her head. You can't read the plaque, Aelin.
I know which one it is. If it's menu.
Yeah, and I don't know how long you guys are spending on each, the people who aren't running, so.
I'm finishing my ritual, and then I just.
Sure. I mean, your ritual would probably finish by the time you're past the first statue.
Okay.
Like you only had like a minute left on it or something when you walked in, so.
Okay.
The entire, not the actually. There is transmutation magic almost everywhere.
Okay. Just everything is just suffused, sort of thing with it.
Yeah. It almost gives the whole place like I don't know if you ever played any first person games or any games where they have like the bloom effect. It's like if you turn up the bloom effect really high, it's like everything's got this like soft like blooming light around it. It's not, it doesn't hurt your eyes or anything obviously, but it's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah. Then yeah, just let me know if there's ever a different type, basically, is what she'd be keeping an eye out for. But otherwise, yeah, she would just go to each one, take it in for a second, read out the name, and then move on to the next one.
Sure. The third statue is of a man with a breastplate and a jaguar helm. The helm is up. He looks imperious and looks like he's got like facial tattoos, kind of in the. You've seen some of the other Cheltons have like kind of similar styles, but it's like tattoos all down his face. And he's holding a massive two-handed sword, kind of turned upside down, like hands on the pommel. Aelin, you would recognize this as the figure you, as best you can figure, is the figure you saw. The sword is identical. And yeah, but the second one, yeah, would say Mainu. The third one says Tefima. The fourth one depicts a woman. She is sorry, not a woman. Wait. Shit, I can't remember the gender. Benari. I think it's a man. Yeah. Grass? Yeah. Thank you. I was like, shit, I can't remember. I'm getting them mixed up. But anyways, it's a man. And he's kind of standing. He's got like long hair that goes down to like his waist, kind of tied back. He's got like a wreath of like almost like laurels around his head, in kind of like flowing robes. And he seems to be holding in each hand what looks to be like a stylized like ball of like lightning. It doesn't like look like actual lightning, but it's like this kind of like strange kind of like jaggedy crack. Almost at some angles, it does look like it almost like shifts and crackles slightly in either hand. And moving on from that, help me with the name because I don't have it in front of me. The beast.
Oceano.
Yeah, the next one is that's a woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Chano.
Next one is a woman. She is holding like what looks to be a staff that it's carved with all sorts of different like dinosaurs, and on the top has got like a raptor head. It looks like, and she's got like it looks like a leopard print kind of like cloak, and just like necklaces. One of the necklaces is very familiar, and Azaka would kind of like gasp a little when she sees it, but it looks like the symbol of Malar, the same one that Azaka's got around her neck. That's 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The 6th statue, there is no statue there. There's a crumbled base, with just like 2 feet, kind of like sort of on it, and the plaque is completely like marred and scratched out, no name.
Yeah, that'd be Nissi. Is that his?
Oh, high school.
Nissi.
Man, they don't fuck around. When they break up. Get out of here.
The last statue, is of a beautiful woman with what looks to be like a crown, like a circular crown, and there's kind of like these. In the background behind her, there's like this like circular kind of like fan, almost like a peacock fan. Around behind her, she's in robes and has like it looks like jeweled necklaces and like bracelets, and she's holding her hands up to the sky like this, looking upwards. Aelin, it looks like the spitting image of the woman in the message you saw at Port Cassilia. Obviously, there's no color. It's like solid black onyx, but they're like extremely detailed like statues though, like almost lifelike.
Yeah,
I would probably.
As soon as I get there and see that, I think he would just drop to his knees in front of it.
I'll catch up. I would just
And
minor
the
vision.
by the way, the words it is spelt translating it it says Alicent.
I'm just gonna minor illusion what we saw in the vision, just as a comparison.
Hey, give me an intelligence check. See how well you can craft that.
Oh God.
Actually,
No.
Arcana. Your Arcana.
Oh,
Hey, that's good.
almost an
It's not the
11.
exact replica of the image you saw, but like some of the maybe background details are fuzzy, but it's pretty damn close.
A nose.
Can I if it's close, and like I say, they're the same basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down to the the bracelets are the same.
I'm going to alter the minor illusion slightly using the statue as a
it's like tuning into a channel, getting like the last little bits of fuzz up.
Because then I'll have it sort of in my brain.
And then you'll have it.
Well, because then I can make a copy of it after.
Yeah.
I can make a proper, or get Blackwind to help me make a proper drawing.
Masika has, it seems, stood up, and she's just kind of like taking in the hall. Notices you guys like at the far end, or like spread out probably. Imagine everybody didn't just like cluster down near the end, but Aelin are down there. Everybody else is probably like staggered a little bit further behind, like. But yeah.
I'm just gonna kneel down with Aelin.
Is this place? Would we expect it to be this empty with the flaming fist about?
Masika kind of looks at you, Blackwind. She's like, empty. She closes her eyes. She's like, can you not feel his presence?
Well, I was expecting to see the flaming fist amongst the halls here, but I don't know. Can I feel the presence of?
Give me a nature check, wisdom nature check.
Because I'm not sure if I can. Wisdom nature, so I would roll, I guess, perception, more or less. Oh no, that wouldn't work. I'll just roll nature and then add. So yeah. add 2 onto that, because that's just
okay. I mean, you don't feel anything specific, just kind of like maybe a calmness, but you don't feel like someone looking over your shoulder or something like that. Like it's not like a creepy, like I'm watching you presence or anything like that.
So like a I don't know, just comfort, really, like a presence.
It's just like a calming feeling.
Even a semi-angry guy is calm. Okay, I do kind of feel something. I'm not sure I can put my finger on it, but there is something. Now that you mention it.
Zendala's like looking around. She's like, I don't feel anything.
One must have a soul. She's a ginger, isn't she?
No.
I know she's not. Just kidding. I wouldn't say I'm like tuned in, but I can barely sense something.
Yeah, I would say Donaquin, your like connection to the primal energies of Chalt, you can feel. It's almost as if you're like you can feel your like the blood like kind of like pumping in your veins. Like it's just like a sense of like greater like awareness. Like every little detail of this room, it's just like you can like pick out super well, and you just feel like
very in tune to the whole place.
yeah, like very much like it's almost like I don't know. It's not like an ecstatic feeling, but it's an extremely like kind of like pleasant kind of like sense of purpose, kind of like instilled within you just naturally.
That was my wisdom nature check.
Okay.
So,
Baz, you're just kind of like.
very
Okay.
beautiful.
I think I smelled something.
I would turn to Zendala and be like, well, might not necessarily be kind of thing that necessarily everyone can feel, but at the very least, it's quite the striking structure.
Yeah, and Azaka's still just kind of standing there, just kind of like holding the amulet that she's got around her neck, and just kind of like just staring up at the. Why can't I remember her name? What's her name? Help me. The Beast Lord one.
Oshana?
Oshana. She's just kind of like looking up at her.
Oshano.
And she kind of like glances over at Donaquin. And Sean, one thing that you will pick out as well, where Mainu is, like the way the waves are kind of like it's like two crashing waves like hitting each other behind her and splitting. That to you, if you just saw the waves and not like her, that to you looks almost exactly like the image of Umberly, the god of the ocean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would ask and so like that to the stuff if Umberly stuff was any connection stuff to this other one.
Yeah, so Masika?
Yeah.
She's like,
so just say
Umberly.
Of Umberly and so we got the god of the ocean and that.
She points, she's like, well, the Bure Mainu was, she was granted powers over the ocean and the denizens therein from Ubtao. From Ubtao. But I don't know.
I've heard something about Umberly at some point. Like that the Choltons or the Shao had a different for her.
Well, on on the Snow of Umgar, so there's a temple to Umgar and so like that there as well.
Yeah, Dangwaru.
Yeah, Dangwaru and stuff like that. Used to belong to the Turtles and stuff like that, but it's now been taken over recently by somebody named Vatim. Does anybody recognize that name at all?
What name?
It's a prophet and stuff like that name.
We would recognize that name.
Vatim?
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any of this.
Yeah, you're right. We're not.
But yeah, Vatim is the new Sokola prophet, I believe, that is making them all.
Yeah, the Jaws of Sokola.
Yeah, then yeah, I Baz would certainly recognize that. Yeah, I don't know.
What was the context?
Oh, we were just going over also because Umberlane and stuff like that. I noticed the back of the statue also looked like a thing, reminded me also of the god of the sea, Umberlane and stuff like that also. So it was just wondering also why.
How's that connected to the team?
I don't know.
Well, Vatim and stuff like that also has taken over the Temple of Umberlane also, which is on the Snow.
Oh, I see.
Okay. It used to be on stuff by the Witch of the Turtles, but him like the Jaws of Sokola, like and that they took it over. That's the war and stuff like that that me and my people and stuff are in at the moment between them.
Gotcha.
My brothers, my two other brothers and stuff like that are there fighting on stuff when we got in. They've been in a war and stuff like that.
Down
For years now.
the snout of Amgar.
What was that?
This is happening down like at your home.
Yeah, this is happening on stuff like now, like during on stuff all this after they took over the temple because of the temple on stuff used to be for the turtles. Turtles on stuff used to occupy it and stuff like that until it was taken over. So we've been at war with them for years, trying to take it back.
But
and
like,
that, and then, so.
But specifically where in Chalt?
Down like it's not in Chalt. It's down in the snout of Umgar.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, like saying it's down in the snout of Umgar. So yeah, it's down there. It's like in the it's like in the center-ish and stuff like that. So of the small island down there.
Oh.
And this was all going on also during the whole time also with all the corruption and stuff like that, which was getting much worse.
So they took over the temple?
Yeah, the temple and stuff like that, or the Typhoon Palace, it's called too. Like,
oh, it's down there. Interesting.
Oh.
Well, because Baz would be able to tell you that they've been attacking.
Yeah,
us.
like I'm just a little bit surprised to hear that it's like the team was occupying something down so far away, and that's somehow rippling across like all the way up here because the Kola people have been like really seemingly more active in the last few years and are like attacking people. We've been attacked by them a couple times now.
well, they've been way up here on stuff on Chalt as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like within Port Nyanzaru, there's quite a few followers of the team that are proselytizing and being violent. And then on the water, on our way here,
It must be connected in some way. Can't just be random.
The timing on everything always seems to.
They tried to kidnap us and take us to the Typhoon Palace on the way here.
They wanted to take Archie and Aelin to the Typhoon Palace.
That was a long ways away.
Yeah.
That would have been a terrible journey. Just underwater. Holy.
I might have missed this when you initially described like us like entering this space, but is this literally only a hallway or does it branch off into like other areas?
It's a single hallway, about 500 feet long, with a white portal where you came in and a black portal on the other side, and these 7 alcoves.
I see. Okay. Once Masika kind of got her, I guess, bearings and composure back, I would ask, what's at the end of this hallway?
And she looks. She's like, well, I suppose that depends on what depends on what you're looking for, I suppose. Ubtao, well, as you are well aware, and she kind of like gestures to her bracers, is a big fan of mazes. I don't know. I haven't been extensively through the temple. I do know that there are. Well, I know that there are. This, and she kind of like gestures around, is known as the Hall of Champions. It's not always the first location upon entering the temple, but it seems this time it is for all of us, which is odd that we're all still together. But I do know that there's the audience hall, there's a prayer hall, and I believe a library with some texts here. And she says, and for those who are, let's say, at the end of their life and willing to submit themselves to Ubtao's test to see how well they've navigated the maze of their life, there is the Barado. I've never been there. I never felt it was my time, but some of the elders near the end of their life would attempt to reach it, and presumably join Ubtao in whatever realm he would send them to, whatever reward they've earned.
Your eternal reward.
She's like, but if you're looking for answers here, I don't know if you've found any yet, but hopefully the library or the audience hall may have more.
I look down at Archie and Aelin. I think they've found at least some level of an answer, but I imagine I want to explore this place a bit more thoroughly.
Well, we should move on. I mean,
can I just get a closer look at the statue? I just want to, like, I don't know. I want to. There's probably nothing. It's been here forever, but I just want to look for anything hidden or see if anything happens when I touch it, or just look around it.
Alarms.
Yeah, I mean, there doesn't seem to be anything more than what's here. When you touch it, however, it is like slightly warm to the touch. You were actually expecting it to be like cold stone, but it's actually slightly warm.
I would stand up and go put my hand on it too.
It's warm. Is it warm?
You guys have a thing for stone.
I don't understand what this means. I mean, I thought I was coming here to help you, to protect you, you were following this mission with your school. Syndra knew us, knew these people, sent us here. It's all so connected, and I don't understand. I thought, all these people coming after us because of our divine role that we never had, but I mean, maybe we did.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Syndra knew. She must have known. Because, I mean, otherwise, why leave the message, for you to come here? Why not just leave it back, bring it back with her and leave it to you there? Why make you take the journey, out here to come and get it? So she must have known. She must have about her and what she was. I guess I always assumed our heritage was some distant thing.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's not. If she was our mom, it's a lot.
Masika kind of like takes a step towards you guys and puts her hands on your shoulders, and she's like, if there's one thing that Ubtao teaches, is that there's always a purpose, even if the path seems random. She's like, whatever brought you here to this temple, to this lost city, I believe it was a calling. And she kind of like glances over at the rest of you, and she's like, and I don't believe they're alone. The the stories that you've told me, the visions you've had, the things that brought you here, all converging on this point. I mean, myself, like the fact that I'm even here, it's like, is this why I was here? To explain any of this to you? It's like, I don't know. But if you are indeed her daughter, kind of glancing up at the statue, then I would say that you have a responsibility to find out. And
I just don't know how.
She's like, it's
Find Omu, I guess.
It's
Destiny will present itself.
Yeah. She says, the harder the tests, the greater life you live. That's what we were always told. That's what I believe. So
I wonder if the dream we had, the one of Ubtao carrying Mezro, he was carrying the city. I wonder if that was like being like, "Hey, go to that city," even though we didn't know what it was. I wonder if that's what it was. That was pushing us towards here.
Thank you, Masika, for bringing us here and for trusting us.
Yes, thank you.
she kind of.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness! What the hell was that?
Censorship.
Oh, emergency broadcast.
Oh my god!
I think that's Aiden.
Holy Jesus out of me! It's a tornado warning.
Oh, was it? I thought that was Aiden with the toy or something.
Tornado warning. I don't get tornado warning.
Not in Kansas anymore. So yeah, Masika will nod, and she's like, "Well, frankly, I think you probably would have ended up here whether I was here or not. But anyways, I don't know if we move beyond this, pointing at the black portal. So I don't know if we'll stay together or not.
Well, each person is their own journey.
He nods.
Maybe the same path, or
it's like I can't say for certain what will happen to any of you passing through here. But then she points at the white portal. She's like, but it's your choice to make. That will lead you back out. The white portal will always lead you out of the temple. Remember that wherever you go.
I look at the black portal. I'm like, I was curious in where this can lead me. What will it show me, or what can it lead me further into? I just step through it then, or I'm like, do I have?
She nods. She's like, when you're ready, yes.
Slowly. Yep. You know what? He was. What's the worst that could happen besides getting demolecularized? I can't even say the word. It's so big. Atomized. There we go.
Before you go, I have something for you.
Yeah.
Or did he already go?
Oh, Ryan, did you hear Jonah, or did you step through?
I already said I was stepping through,
Okay.
so I don't.
You heard,
honestly,
the last thing you hear, Black, when you step through, you hear this before you go.
Because I'm assuming that as soon as you touch it, it basically like you don't go through it slowly. It's just like
yeah.
poof.
I mean, to everybody else, it just looks like Blackman vanishes the moment he takes a step through.
Crap.
Black and roll a d12.
A D12?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This will be for tickle damage, right? No.
Black, when you find yourself outside the temple, standing on the steps.
I've been rejected.
Black, when you do also notice outside the temple, down on the steps, there are two people that are kind of standing, kind of conversing with each other. They weren't there when you went into the temple 5-10 minutes ago. There is one. She's got kind of a dusky, kind of like almost like bluish skin, and really bright red hair, kind of tied back, carrying a spear. Looks like it's made of like it's like a silvery metal, and kind of like a fancy head on it. Wearing kind of almost like Romanesque, like white kind of like robes. Just with a like golden kind of tasseled belt, like cinched around her waist, and she's kind of standing there. Next to her, there is a man. The man is bald and pale skinned. He is wearing kind of like purplish kind of like robes. They look kind of tattered. And he's got kind of like a bit of a vacant look on his face and in his eyes. Doesn't seem to have any hair on him at all that you can see. Like completely bald, no eyebrows, no facial hair. And he is just kind of holding what looks to be a black kind of like leather bound like book. Just kind of in front of him, just kind of holding it like this. Just kind of like with both hands. And he's got his head kind of bowed down, and she seems to be talking to him kind of quietly. You can't hear them, and they don't seem to have noticed you step out.
Okay, never mind. Continue if you're going to go on.
Yeah. So you would see that. Before we deal with that, though, what are you guys inside doing? Blackwood has vanished. A few moments go by, he doesn't reappear, and nothing seems to happen.
Oh, there's no ashes.
Where do you guys think he went?
Zendala's like, maybe it annihilated him.
I would have suggested I don't know exactly how it works, but if there's multiple places you can get to, we should probably test by thinking about it while you're going through, instead of just walking through. Like, think about, if you want to get to the library, think about the library, or I don't know. I can't imagine
Actually,
it's
what was going for him
random.
was what this may show him of what his. That was essentially, I think, what was kind of going through his head. But whether or not it was random or not, which it probably was, but it's all good. I think I'm not dead.
So we know 4, according to Messiah.
The weird afterlife.
The
bald.
Yeah, Zach is like, I don't. She's like, I don't feel like I should be here. She still hasn't taken her eyes off that statue. She's like, I feel like maybe I'll wait outside.
What makes you feel like you shouldn't be here? Does she not worship the same?
She's like, it's a personal thing. I don't feel. I'm sorry. I don't want to burden you, but I just don't. I don't feel like I should be here. And she kind of like turns towards like the white portal. She's like, I'll feel better if I wait outside.
Well, what do we do about? I guess if they come upon you and ask about the charter.
She's like, oh, right, good point. She looks towards the dollar. She's like, girl, give me the charter. Zendala's like, what? I will not.
Zendala, please. I think that it would be like if Azaka doesn't feel comfortable in here. I don't necessarily blame her.
Azaka doesn't need the charter, I thought.
Oh, right. She's a guide. That's true.
Oh.
Yeah, as a guide, she herself is protected. So that's a good point,
Yeah.
Elon.
Yeah, Archie, Azaka looks like she's like momentarily like confused, and then she's like, "Oh, of course, the charter. You're right. I'm registered. They would know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine."
Okay.
Do you want anyone to come with you?
She's like, only if you want to. I'll be fine. I'm sure you won't be here all that long, right? Maybe. So either way, I can take care of myself. If anything happens, I'll tell you what. I'll leave. And she kind of like takes out like a small folded piece of paper that somehow is not wet. I would have dried overnight. And then like scribbles like a little symbol down. She's like, "Oh, I'll write this on the pathway leading up if I run into any trouble. One mark for the tower. 2 marks just mean, I don't know, I'm off taking a piss or something.
Okay.
Just in case I'm not there when you come up."
Okay.
She's like, all right, good luck. Hope you find whatever you're looking for in here. She kind of like glances back up at the statue and kind of hurries down the hallway. Disappears
She's
through the
looking
white
at
portal.
the statue that has the same necklace that she has, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely seems like she was very kind of like just kind of like uncomfortable, a bit anxious, and yeah.
Sure.
Actually, Baz, you would probably even pick up like it almost seemed like she was slightly ashamed to for some reason.
Fair.
Sandal's like, give you the charter, give me a break.
For shame.
Well,
I guess we came here to explore this place and potentially.
Sandala nods. She's like, well, no sense moping about here anymore, and she steps through the portal.
where do you? What are you?
Good riddance.
Before anyone else goes, I got this like potion that I really wanted to give Blackwind, but I forgot till like the last moment. Does anybody want it? It's pretty cool.
He's gone forever. No. Or he doesn't inform me. I'm dead.
What is it? What does it do?
It helps you do stuff better. You could say you're blessed.
Cocaine. It's a jar of cocaine.
Oh. Maybe I don't know. I feel like this is really Archie's mission. Why don't we let her have it?
Sounds good.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, Azaka brings up a good point. Although now that Zendala is gone, it's going to be a bit diminished. Maybe if we do get separated, we just plan to meet back at the tower tonight. That's a safe place that we're familiar with.
Tower or the cliff. Well, tower first, but
yeah.
If the tower is not safe, go to the cliff.
Yep.
Okay.
That sounds
good. That's smart.
Sika's like, well, would you like me to wait here? I could wait outside as well. Or shall I go next?
Well, how about where are we trying to get to? I guess is just so we can all try and get to the same spot.
Where would you like to go?
Library, I guess. Seems like a good place to start.
Let's all think about the library and step through the portal.
Any thoughts, everyone?
The portal's not all that big, so you can't like hold hands and like walk through it together. So who's going first?
So what was the black portal for again? How did they explain what it was?
Black portal is somewhere else. White portal is back outside. You never know where the black portal is going to go, and you always know the white portal is back outside.
Potentially answers is what it.
Did they say potentially answers to the black portal?
Well, it goes to somewhere else in the temple.
Yeah.
So if we're looking to explore the temple, we need to go through the black portal.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I
see. So then let's go through the black portal. I'll go first.
not hell, not hell, not hell.
Are
It's
you,
the only
Sean,
my way.
are you trying to get to anywhere in particular? Not that you really know.
I'm just-
So the only thing she told you is this is the Hall of the Champions. She said the white portal always leaves out. She said there was an audience hall, for Ubtao's. There was a library. There was a place called the Barado, which is where you go to face the results of your life, essentially.
I'm not ready for that.
And they gave you what was the? She gave you one more, right? There's
Prayer hall.
a prayer hall.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't know what else could be here. So I don't know if you want to focus on any of those. Even if focusing does anything, you don't know that either.
Yeah,
no,
But
that's
I'd probably be focusing on, now that I saw stuff that the statue also had something to do with Umbrella and stuff like that, so I'd probably think of the prayer hall
okay.
first on stuff, and then possibly the library on stuff to find out if there's any information on stuff about the corruption and things like that.
Okay.
That's probably what
But prayer hall's top of mind.
Yeah, I think the prayer hall would be on stuff, since I just recently saw that statue of a god and stuff like that on stuff that I look up to and things like that. And
smart. Best move.
I think I would do
Okay.
that first.
All right. Done. Quinn, if you step through, roll me a d12, please.
No.
No. Okay. You're vaporized. Okay.
Ooh.
You step out into a wide circular chamber. You can see that there is a black portal directly across from you in the chamber. There's a circle of what looks like velvet cushions. There is like a pool of water that's completely still in the center. And all around the outside, it's kind of it's almost like a curved dome-like room. Almost like if you're in the top half of a sphere, it's like just a dome. All around, it looks like there's murals painted in painted and carved into the walls, so crashing waves, fish. There are culminating into what looks like two massive crashing waves on the ceiling above. And the entire room smells faintly of salt water.
Nice.
And yeah, there's also so directly across from you, there's a black portal. Looking behind you, there's another black portal. There is no white portal in this room.
Is that black portal behind me the one I just stepped through?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is no portal that's white in this room.
Right. Okay. I'll spend some time also just looking at all that stuff around the room, also seeing the murals and things like that and stuff for a bit before.
Okay. We'll go back to you in a sec. Who's next?
Archie.
I'll go.
Okay. You're focusing the library, trying to?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Archie, take a step through. Roll a d12. 7. That's the worst number. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Hold on. Let me. Just want to do something real quick.
I would say library as well before I step through, and think it. I'd do both. And I would say it in Chalton.
Forgot the red shoes, though. The red sequin shoes. I see the story now. Corey just fooled us all, though. He just TPK'd us by suicide boosts from Futurama.
Archie, you step through, and you find yourself entering a long hallway. At the far end, you can see the group of your friends standing near a black portal.
What's up?
It seemed, maybe at the back of your mind, you're too focused on that statue, but you find yourself back at the beginning of the same hallway just at the far end now, 500 feet back. Looking behind you, the portal is white and the far one is black.
I will, as I'm walking down, I should be like, apparently thinking it doesn't matter.
I will step through.
Okay.
And I will try thinking of the library.
Okay. Roll me a d12, please.
1.
Okay. You step through. You find yourself on the steps of the temple outside.
Hi, Zaka.
Blackwind?
Azaka is not there. Neither is Blackwind. Out in front of you, there's two people on the steps. One is an elderly-looking man in looks like warrior armor, kind of wrinkled and old, maybe 80. Chultan man, kind of leaned over on a cane. Next to him is a completely bald, pale-skinned man with kind of purple-black robes and holding a book in front of him. Got him a vacant look on his face, looking down at him, completely hairless.
Sounds familiar.
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Different people than what.
Who's next?
Aelin,
I
do you want to go last, or do you want to go now? Why don't you wait for your sister?
yeah, I'll wait for her to catch up. You go ahead, Jonah.
All right. I'm going to think of the library.
Okay. Roll me a d12. Oh. Jonah, you find yourself in a kind of cylindrical hall with 3 balconies above you. On this level here, hanging from the balcony, there's all sorts of what looks like bone chimes, wind chimes, and there seems to be air spinning in the room, rustling the chimes, making this kind of musical sound. In the center, there is a kind of looks like a golden starburst on the floor, and you can see that there's little bits of leaves and things kind of swirling around. You can't see the wind; it's not that fast, but kind of in a mini whirlwind in the middle. There doesn't seem to be any other portals. Looking behind you, there's no portals at all on the ground level, and there doesn't seem to be any way to get up to the balconies above.
Am I on the floor with the starburst?
Yeah, you're on the ground level of this cylindrical room, but you can see circular balconies, 3 of them upwards.
Okay.
We'll come back to you. So Aelin and Archie are the only ones left in the hall? Archie just came back in, looped back to the side? I think, no, Blackwind, no, you stepped through. I know where you are. Okay.
Yeah.
I was the first guinea pig.
Yep.
Want to try again?
There's gotta be a. I thought library said. I thought it brought me back here.
Oh no.
And it's not giving. Is it? It's not giving off a different kind of magic when I was near it. No.
Nope. You don't know that as far as you can tell, nothing's different from.
Yeah.
Masika did say that, this place is a maze in honor of Ubtao.
Sure.
Maybe there's a few more rooms you have to get through before you get to the library.
Maybe it's numbers? Floor 1, 2, 3. It was 9 stories outside, right? It was a 9-storied
Seemed like
thing.
12
So
to
maybe
me.
there's 9
Did you
floors.
say it looked like 12 to you?
Yeah.
God,
I don't know why. I just have a feeling.
Yeah. Have this eyeball.
Yeah, but if you don't know what number it is, then that doesn't help you.
Sure. Well, I was just thinking we could, But
What if you,
I don't want
what if you
I don't want
what if you hold out a book? Just hold on to a book while you go through.
to go because library.
Sure.
Library pass. Multi-pass.
Yeah, the statues were in Chultan, not Oldomuin. So maybe I'll try thinking it in Chultan or saying it.
What is that? Just so if I need to do that too.
I would Liz doesn't know, but Archie would be
Corey
able to
doesn't know
say.
either, so sure.
Yeah.
I don't speak Chelton.
There's not real
Yeah,
word.
I got it. Okay.
Okay. I don't know. I guess we can. Otherwise,
Stay here forever?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Stay here forever?
As Archie's trying to like logic out what it could be.
Do you want me to go first?
No, it's fine. I'll say library in Chilton, and then I will walk through and see if I end up back here again.
Okay. Roll me a 212. Oops.
Oh, into the main boss's room, right? No.
Roll initiative. Now, Liz, you find yourself as soon as you step out, you get hit with raindrops. You find yourself seemingly on a wide balcony overlooking the entire city of Mezro at the very top of the building, like a rooftop balcony.
Ooh.
You can see the whole city like laid out below you in various directions. Behind you there is a white portal.
Okay.
And you can see that there are like what looks to be like crystal walkways that go out about 25 feet in like the main compass directions, 4 different directions, like out like off the edge of the balcony towards the air. About 50 or so feet below each of those is a swirling black portal in the air. And yeah, you're just being rained on. You can see as well what looks to be as you're kind of like taking this all in, we'll go back to Aelin.
I'm going to briefly go back over to the statue of our mother. I'm going to take out the white gem, just kind of touch it to the statue, hold it there for a second, and just kind of nod, put it away. And then I'm going to walk towards the portal, and I'm just going to repeat library, library, library over and over in Chilton as best as I can. And walk through.
Okay, roll me a d12, please. Okay. Aelin, you step out into a kind of long rectangular room. The sides of the room are lined with bookshelves. And there are 6 sets of like long mahogany tables. You could probably seat like maybe 10 people on each side down the center. At the far end, there is what looks to be like a kind of like a raised platform with a circular mahogany desk. There's nobody sitting behind it, and the hall is completely empty. But it's like lined with books and light streaming in through like these stained glass windows.
Oh shit!
Looking behind you, there's a black portal. You don't see any other exit from this room.
Now what?
We'll find out. Blackwind, outside. Yeah, so you're standing on the steps. Sorry, I had to get everybody out of the hallway before I got back to you. Blackwind, you're standing on these steps. Yeah, there's this red-haired, kind of like dusky, kind of bluish-skinned woman with white robes, and then that weird, hairless, pale-skinned man, kind of seemingly talking in low voices to each other. They haven't seemed to have noticed you, and nobody else is around. Looking behind you, there is a black portal leading into the temple.
So the people, they're humans, these people?
I mean, you're not sure. They look human in like physical stature and features, but you've never seen a human with blue skin. And the other one is like pale white skin, maybe albino, but completely hairless. But otherwise he does look human.
What is the surrounding area? Does it look like the same as when I left it? Look like
give me a perception check. It looks nearly like almost identical to what you've seen before. Maybe there's something different.
How about an average roll?
I mean, looking around, it's a little confusing because you're not, potentially maybe you're not on the same side of the building since the building turns with you. But It looks to you like there is no boats with the flaming fist symbols on them anywhere. Other than that, everything is identical to how you saw it, as far as you can tell. Light rain falling.
Slightly different. Is it possible to maybe move closer to them?
Sure, you just walk down the path towards the stairs. They're just at the top of the stairs. Probably like 50 feet from you. They don't seem to have noticed you yet, because you're just standing there, of course, currently.
I don't try to hide or anything like that. I just kind of approach and...
Okay. As you approach, the woman kind of stops talking. You couldn't hear anything she was saying, but she stops talking. She turns towards you, and as she does so, you notice she's wearing a necklace. The necklace is just like a simple silver chain attached to just a circular disc. The disc has like a purple rim, and is otherwise just like a jet black circle.
Ooh.
And she kind of like cocks her head, says something to you in a language you do not understand, and then points back at the temple. The man kind of turns, lowers the book kind of from the middle of his chest to his waist, and then says something to her in a language you do not understand. She kind of nods and kind of like walks and just kind of like goes to walk past you towards the portal leading into the temple. The man kind of just looks up at you expectantly.
Okay. And I so generally, like, the look of her was anything specific? Like, nothing I ever met before, right?
No, you're not sure what she might be. You can give me a nature check.
Sure.
Yeah, nature. Yeah, nature. It would be nature. Sorry.
Make up my mind.
Yeah,
I'll make up.
You don't know what race she is. At first, you thought maybe she might have been like an elf, or like, you know, drow can have like kind of that bluish black skin sometimes, but she's definitely not elven. She looks human by all accounts, except for her skin tone. She's kind of like walks past you. You do get a slight sense of menace from her as she walks past you, but she doesn't seem to acknowledge you again when she realizes you can't understand what she said, and she walks past you and through the portal and vanishes. And the man just kind of staring at you.
Is it possible to see the cover of the book at all in any way, or like, I know he's kind of cradling it, right? Like
he's holding it, like he's got like either sides of it. He's like holding it like this, just with both hands on either side. It doesn't have anything on the cover. It looks like it's a black leather-bound book. The edge of the pages also look black, maybe like they're slightly burned. And he's just holding it. Kind of, actually, he's not holding it like up. He's holding it kind of like down at his waist now. Still both hands on the book, staring at you kind of vacantly, but almost expectantly.
Okay. I don't know. I'll just go back towards the portal.
Not gonna approach the creepy man.
Okay, bye.
You go back. You go back through the portal.
Yeah, I'll walk through the portal. Hopefully.
Sure.
I just, I don't know if I should get close to him or
Sure.
try my diplomacy skills again.
All right. Are you thinking about anything in particular going back through?
Just, I guess along the lines like, just focusing on what I need for, or like to find what I need, like, for my dream, right? I guess.
Roll me a d12 as you step back through the portal.
Because he's not library book smart. Didn't know. Whoop! I missed the box. So I really threw that off to the side. Woo! And is it a parasification?
Sorry.
It would be funny if, like, one of us was just jumping through a bunch of different portals trying to find new stuff, and one of them is the one that kills you, and we just haven't found it yet.
Sorry, you got a 8. Okay.
There's a few we haven't yet.
You step through Blackwind. You find yourself in a kind of like domed, like half circular room. It's lined all in a big circle with like these like velvet cushions. There is what looks to be like a big tree kind of growing out of the middle, kind of stretching branches almost to the ceiling. All around the dome, it's kind of carved and painted. Scenes of like forests and animals and life. And there are like inscribed like dinosaurs and that kind of thing as well. Up above, almost in the center of the dome, there is what looks to be like a large kind of like bestial claw carved into the roof.
A claw!
Behind you, there is a white portal. In front of you, on the other side of the room, there is a black portal. There is nobody else in this room.
Okay. That's much different.
See what happens next. Who's next? Sorry, I want to keep the same order.
Brad.
John?
I think it was Brad.
Blackwind, and then it was Sean.
Jonathan.
Donoquin.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you're in this room. You're looking around at all these depictions of ocean life. You do also, as you're walking around, you can almost like hear like the sound of like crashing waves. Like that sounds like way in the distance. And occasionally the surface of the water kind of like ripples a little bit. And that pool in the middle. You doing anything in here? What do you do?
No, other than what you're just looking around if I don't see anything else. So like I said, I spend a little bit of time here also, but then I contemplate, go into the I'll go into the next black portal also, if not the one behind me also, but the one in front of me.
Okay. You step through. Roll me a d12, please. Are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'll think of another place, and so I'll think of like the library and stuff like that also this time.
Okay.
Just to see also if it gets a different place or whatnot.
Sure. Roll me a d12. Okay. You step out into a cylindrical room. It has balconies full of wind chimes and a gold sunburst on the floor. There doesn't seem to be any portals out where you are. And there's a swirl of like leaves and things in the center above the sunburst, like going upwards. You seem to be alone in this room.
Wait, what?
Okay, cool. I would butcher that. I would obviously also look around also at the room a bit before, and then actually end up walking closer to like the middle. Bless you. I'd walk closer to the middle and stuff like that, where the leaves are also for like swirling around. I would kind of work my way around, looking at the room also and seeing also, and then I would go towards the center and also go back.
Can you give me a perception check?
Nice.
Good. Yeah, okay, you're looking around. Is it Brad next?
Yeah.
Yep.
Brad, so you're out on the
You got
steps,
Brandon here.
seemingly alone. There's that old kind of man with a cane, and the pale, weird-looking guy seems to be talking to him. You can't hear what they're saying, though.
I would just sort of like look around. Yeah, I see them. I don't see Azaka anywhere.
Nope.
I would sort of like creep up a little bit. Excuse me. Hello.
The old man kind of turns, kind of like looks at you and kind of like gives you like a bit of a smile. You see he's like missing most of his teeth, and he kind of like raises one hand a bit shakily and kind of like waves at you. Says something to you in a language you don't understand.
Oh.
And then he kind of turns. The other guy kind of like lowers his book and turns and just kind of like looks at you a bit vacantly, almost expectantly, as the old man kind of like slowly totters his way up, kind of like pats you on the arm as he goes to continue past you towards the temple.
Okay. I guess I'll follow them in.
Well, the guy with the book's not moving. He's standing there at the edge of the steps. Just the old man is going slowly to walk past you.
Hi, to the guy with the book. Do you speak common?
He kind of smiles at you. His lips don't move, but you hear a voice in your head, and he's just like, whichever tongue is most comfortable for you.
Oh, then I'll switch to Loxodon.
Okay.
And just
I never get to speak Loxodon.
say, I'm not 100% sure I understand how this place works, but am I in a different part of the temple, or did I leave?
He nods. He's like, you are on the path.
Oh, well, that's good.
It is good. Yes.
At least that means I'm not lost.
It's like, to be lost isn't a bad thing, you know. Many of us are lost till we find our way.
That is wise. I suppose I should continue finding my way. Any advice for a wanderer like myself?
And he kind of like looks down at the book, kind of like lifts it up and kind of like slowly opens it and kind of flips through some pages. It looks to you like they're just like burnt pages with like stains and scribbles and like tears in it and stuff. Kind of flips a few times and then stops kind of third of the way through, traces down, and you see his finger as it traces, like this kind of like symbol kind of appears. It looks to you like the you would recognize it as the Astorian eyes symbol. Then he looks up at you, closes the book, and he's like, nearly at your end, but the journey continues. Consider yourself fortunate.
Great, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm so rude. My name is Baz. What's your name?
He just kind of stares at you a bit vacantly.
Oh. Okay, a little too forward. That's okay. Well, I'll leave you to it. Take care. And I'll turn around and go through the portal again.
Okay. You thinking of anything in particular going through?
I'm thinking of that rune.
Okay. Roll a d12 for me. A 2.
Hey, what's one better? That's double what I got last time.
Yeah, it's a new room too.
Step by step.
There, as you step through the portal, you enter into a long rectangular room. The walls lined with books and bookshelves with big long tables. You see Aelin in front of you, not too far from you, looking around with a look like, now what, on his face.
What were you talking about?
The eyes rune.
The other thing you would notice, Baz, is over on the left hand side, about 3/4 of the way back, one of the books on the bookshelf is kind of like glowing a pale blue.
I
Hey,
definitely don't want to look at them.
We'll see what happens. Who's next? Jonah? Jonah, so you're in this room with this starburst and this swirl of wind. Can you give me a perception check?
All right.
Okay. Yeah. As described. What do you want to do?
That's good. I will approach the starburst in the center of the room.
Okay. The closer you get to it, the faster the little leaves kind of swirl.
How close? I will keep on getting closer.
Okay.
Oh,
You're
I'm
like at
right
the
outside.
edge of it now. You can feel the air moving in front of you.
I will jump towards the center.
Okay. You find yourself the wind intensifies, and you find yourself slowly rising.
Whoa.
That's how you get to the balconies.
You get to about where the first ring of the balcony is, and you see that there is a single portal. It looks like, which is white.
Okay. Is there anything else? I will wait to see if anything else happens.
Okay. Probably 10, 15 seconds later, the wind intensifies again. And you move up to the second floor. There, you see that there is no portals, but you do see a man. He looks like lizard-like, with kind of like an oblong head and kind of like almost like a bird-like beak. He's wearing what looks to be like leather armor. At first you think he was a dragonborn, but he looks odd. He doesn't look like a dragonborn. He looks a bit more angular, a bit more sleek. And he's a little shorter than most dragonborn that you've seen. He's got a kind of a long, it's not a great sword. It's just like a fairly long, like broad-bladed sword with like almost a pure white blade on his back. He's just kind of like, kind of sitting on a stone bench. As you rise up, you smell a faint smell of like baking bread. And the creature, the creature kind of like cocks his head, like almost like amused, watching you kind of like float on this air.
I'd call out to him. Hello, my friend. Are you baking some bread?
He kind of chirps like almost like bird-like, like this trilling chirp kind of sound, and then he kind of like points upwards.
I will motion him to come with me.
And he just kind of like nods, and you get a smell like blueberries suddenly in the air.
Man, this guy's awesome. You sure you don't want to come along?
He shakes his head. The wind kind of picks up again, and you drift upwards to the third balcony. And there you see that there's again a circular balcony. You're near the top of the dome, and there's like a black portal there.
I will hop off. I will try to swim or jump or grab.
Yeah. The moment you try, it kind of just like shifts. The wind kind of just shifts and just gently deposits you on the balcony.
That's pretty cool. Can I look over the balcony and see if the bird guy's still there?
Yeah. You
Can I wave to him?
Yeah, he kind of is. He's not a bird. He's like a lizard.
I'm sorry, the lizard.
He's bird-like kind of mannerisms, though. He kind of like looks up at you, and you get a faint smell of like baking bread again, kind of wafting up.
Okay, pretty cool. I will throw him a ration.
He kind of like
hits him in the head,
snatches it, kind of like opens it up, like waves at you and gives you like a thumbs up.
Okay.
You get a smell that's kind of wafting up. That smells like it's almost like maple, like kind of like bacon kind of smell. It makes your mouth water a little bit.
The maple kind, yeah.
Nice. I will go and happy that I made a new friend. I will jump into the portal.
Okay. You thinking of anything particular other than bacon?
I'm thinking of bath.
Okay. Can you roll me a d12, please?
All right.
Has to be a way around the randomness. There has to be.
That's a d10. Try again. You step out into a circular kind of like half-domed room with like silk cushions in a circle. In the center, there is a crackling pillar of fire. There are just depictions of like erupting volcanoes all around. And in the center at the top, there is what looks like the head of a jaguar, kind of like growling, looking down. In the room, there is what looks to be a dead body, kind of like lying off to the side. It is charred all down one side. Looks to be of of a woman. The half of her that's not charred is kind of wearing like white robes. But it looks like a Chultan woman. But she's obviously quite dead, like you can tell from here. There is a white portal behind you and a black portal on the other side of the room.
Do you want? I'll wait, but I won't.
Okay. Where are we now? Sorry. Someone help me with the order, because You're back to Blackwind?
It's me.
Oh, it's Liz. Liz, where were you? You're at top. You're on this balcony, like, with these 4 crystal, like, walkways that lead off into the...
Yeah, crystal walkways. It's raining. Is it raining the same as when we entered, or is this like a harsher rain? Or is it
No,
the same?
it's just like this light drizzle, just like it's been when you arrived here.
Okay. Is the time of day roughly the same? Like the sun's in the same spot, everything's the same?
As far as you can tell,
okay.
Yeah. You can give me a perception check if you're looking around.
Okay, yeah. Hell yeah.
Nice. A couple things you notice. Number one, over on the left-hand side, there is no Flaming Fist camp there at all. It's just jungle.
Okay.
Looking around, you can see a few things. Number one, you can see 17. The residential district looking down. You can see that there is kind of like little pockets of like red and black flame, kind of like little balls of red and black flame just kind of like erupt occasionally here and there and just float around. You can also see in the agricultural district, wallowing in a big pool of water over here, you can see what looks to be a gigantic black-scaled crocodile. And it opens its mouth kind of wide, and this thing must be like the size of like a brontosaurus, like a huge crocodile, kind of wallowing in the mud there. It opens its mouth, and you see 2 like, they almost look like tendrils of magma, kind of like whip out like tongue-like. And you see like constellations kind of like burst into the air around it and kind of spin. Looking north, or northwest towards where the like Scholars District is, you can see just kind of like hovering over the entire district, and you see like buildings like basically being pulled from the ground and like floating up towards it. There's a large black sphere of nothing that seems to be just eating these buildings that are floating up towards it and hitting it. Blinking a few times, those images fade.
Oh. Okay. And there was nothing in the shopping district area like that?
Nothing out of the ordinary that you saw, no.
Ordinary up there. Just no Flaming Fist camp. And there are black portals at the end of each crystal?
Yeah, there's
thing?
4 crystal walkways that go about 20 feet off the edge of the balcony that you're on. Like out, like no railings or anything, about 5 feet wide. And below them, about 30 feet just hovering in the air, are black portals. About 30 feet down from the edges of them.
Do they look the same as the archway portal? Or does it look like different type?
Looks the same as the archway portal.
But why?
Each balcony roughly points. They don't. Well, it doesn't point towards like the 4 quadrants. It's pointing like on the compass. So yeah, they don't correspond.
And there's no portal that I came from. It's just those 4.
Just those.
If I think to myself, stop raining, does it stop raining?
No.
If I say stop raining in Chilton, or does it stop raining? Okay.
Nope.
Really nice if you stopped raining.
The crystal walkways look a little slick with the rain, though.
Okay. First problem. Gerald.
He's with you.
He's with me? Okay. So he came. Okay. I wasn't sure.
He's not a sentient thing. He's a possession of yours. He comes with you.
Okay. Okay.
He's tied to you with like one of those child leashes.
Yeah. Magical
pocket golem.
Okay, so the city, does it look like it ruined? Or it's still...
It looks like you saw it before. Flooded, ruined. Yep.
Okay. Shit. Eeny, miny, miny, mo. I'm gonna go north.
Okay. So you go to the edge of the northern platform. It's a little slick, but it's wide enough that you're fine.
Oh boy, what happens if I just fall?
Looking down, about 30 feet below you at the edge of the portal is a swirling black portal. You don't think you'd miss it if you jump.
Well, if I do, I could feather fall. I just don't know if I'll land what it'll be.
You can also fly.
Can I just like do a quick around the top of the tower on the balcony itself? Can I just do like an investigation to see if there's any writing, any pictographs, anything that I can find, anything at all?
Yeah, looking around up there, it is just like smooth crystal, no markings whatsoever.
Just a balcony and 4 other portals.
Yep.
Sucking void, constellation monster, red lightning, nothing. I'm gonna go north. I'm gonna just step off. Be like, okay, deal with me.
You quickly fall, hitting the black portal. Are you thinking about anything as you're falling?
I'm thinking about our mom.
Okay,
No
roll me a d12.
No regrets.
You you find yourself stepping out into a long hallway with alcoves and statues. A white portal behind you, and at the far end, a black portal. Nobody else is in the hall.
Cool.
Real familiar with
Echo.
As you, assumedly, unless you turn around and walk out the white portal, assumedly walk down the hallway. Who's next? Back to Donnequin?
It's me.
Oh, back to Aelin.
No.
Where's Aelin? Aelin, you turn around. Baz
I'm in
is
the library.
there.
Oh. Hey, Baz.
Hey, wow, this place is interesting.
Yeah, I just had to say library a lot, and I showed up here, so I think that's all you just have to say it like 4 or 5 times.
Huh. Well,
But I don't know. I expected Archie to be here, and so
yeah,
maybe,
I haven't seen any of our friends, but there were two men outside. Like yeah, I walked through the portal and I was back up at the entrance.
oh, like Flaming Fist?
No,
Not the real entrance.
I don't think so. They were they one I was like an very old man, didn't really say much, but seemed very nice. And then another one was just sort of standing there. He had a black book with black pages, and seemed to talk to me in my mind. And he could speak Loxodon. He seemed like he could speak whatever language I wanted. He didn't give me his name, but kind of told me that, I was on the right path. Being lost wasn't so bad, and showed me a bit of my past, a bit of my belief, I guess. And I walked back through the portal while thinking of that, and here I am. And there seems to be a book right there that is really, really calling to me.
Is it glowing for me too?
No.
I don't see what you're talking about. Do you think that guy was Ubtao?
I don't know. I've never met him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, why don't you grab your special book, I guess. I'm going to just see what else there is in here.
Okay. I don't know. I feel a little bit awkward because something tells me that maybe that book is like the end of my path here, and I don't know. And if I read it, maybe I'll be forced out of here. Maybe, I don't know. And
Do you want me to grab it and see?
no. I'm considering just exploring some of these other books. Not that I feel like without Archie here, I don't necessarily if I'll be able to make heads or tails of any of them.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Mainly, I'm just looking for cookbooks. Really, I just want old children recipes. But
I mean,
hey, maybe that's what this book is. And I will go over and I will pick up the book that is glowing blue.
Okay.
Old style Umu and cooking.
I don't want to. I don't want to tempt fate by, being like, I'm just gonna look at a bunch of other books first, and like, that book stops glowing. Like, hey, you mother.
I forget which one it was.
Pulling the book off the shelf, the book is extremely cold. Like, it's almost like your hand sticks to it. Like, when you touch something really cold with, like, sweaty hands, it kind of, like, sticks to it. And you pull it off the shelf, it looks a lot bigger than it did when it was on the shelf. Like, you kind of pull it off and it's like this big, heavy tome. Yeah, there's nothing on the cover.
I'll set it down on there. You said there's like tables and stuff here, right?
Oh yeah, there's big tables.
Yeah, I'll set it down. Ooh. That really it's weirdly cold. I'll open it.
Okay. Inside, you open, the pages are kind of most, as far as you can tell, are blank. As you're flipping through them, you see the edges of the book kind of like curling and like turning black, and these like black like spiderweb like lines kind of like tracing across the pages as you're turning. You get to a few pages in, just trying to see is there anything in this book. You get to about halfway through or so, and inside you see what looks to be a depiction of, as far as you can tell, it is kind of this like this large kind of like woman with like an owl-like face, surrounded by like snow and ice behind her. Kind of like reaching forward, there's like an ice pedestal carved with like the eyes rune that you can see, and on the pedestal there is a kind of like silver blue band of what looks like a ring. It looks like it's carved out of like ice, and it kind of like sits there kind of like swirling before the book basically like turns black and kind of crumbles into like ash on the table, and kind of like starts like sand like dripping off the sides of the table. Aelin would see all of that.
Wow.
Did you just wreck that book?
Archie's gonna be so pissed.
I mean, I just looked at it.
Is there a hole on the bookshelf where it was taken from?
Yep.
Did you don't happen to recognize who that creature was, do you?
I don't think I didn't.
I
wasn't looking.
Oh, you were
out of respect.
Oh.
I mean, you could describe her, I guess.
It was like I saw and then I explained.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
You can make a religion check if you.
I mean, I'll also make a religion check. But oh my god.
Yeah, it was my main area of study at the monastery.
I mean, wow.
Baz is like, definitely an eyes rune. I saw the eyes rune.
It was the eyes rune. I mean, based on where Baz comes from, I mean, he's so far from Icewind Dale that he would have no fucking clue.
Aelin, the description and everything, the cold and all that, definitely a depiction of Auril, the Frost Maiden.
Yeah. Apparently she's making like all sorts of a ruckus up there.
Yeah.
Making like eternal night and stuff. It's awful.
There's like a rhyme happening.
Yeah, I'd never want to go there. But yeah, that's definitely Auril.
She was like doing something to a ring. I don't. Huh.
Do you think it's related to that frost giant that we ran into before we got here?
You think that's maybe what she was looking for?
I don't know. I don't know if the frost giants serve Oro.
Well, with a 23, you're pretty confident that most creatures like frost giants would, in fact, if not serve, would definitely venerate Oral, being like the goddess of winter and ice and cold.
Yeah, it's pretty likely.
Interesting.
So,
Well, I guess it didn't shunt me out of here, so I'm going to start looking for cookbooks.
all right.
Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm gonna see if I can if any of the spines are in any language I can read. If there's anything I can understand of any of these books.
Okay. Well, you guys are glancing around, looking around for books of anything legible or topics you might recognize. We'll move to the next person. Who's the next person?
Blackwind.
Blackwind. Where's he? Someone help me.
The
Look
top.
in the room with a tree.
The tree room.
Yeah. You said there was a symbol of a claw at the top, or whatever. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Is that something I've seen before? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's the symbol that Azaka wears around her neck. It's very similar to the symbol you saw carved in various doors in Port Nyanzaru. You would at this point you would recognize it the symbol of Malar, the Beast Lord, or at least that's what you know it as, the symbol of Malar, the Beast Lord.
And this is a real tree here, like
it looks like an actual tree.
I'll check it out. And is it if I climb up it? Is there something up above or besides the symbol? Or is it just a symbol?
No, it doesn't look like it. I mean
Doesn't look like I could climb all the way up there.
You probably could, yeah. It doesn't look too hard to climb.
Okay. Well, just from observing, is this symbol actually like a painting or like a whatever?
Yeah, well, it's a mixture of like carvings and paintings and murals and stuff on the walls and ceiling. Just in the very center of the ceiling, it's like this claw.
And nothing else, just a tree symbol. And then the door.
There's a circle of like velvet pillows and a big circle around the tree.
Oh,
on the floor.
I'll go check out the velvet pillows. I could use that.
They are comfortable looking velvet pillows on the floor. In a circle.
So they're just like laid down in a litter.
Yeah, big circle of pillows. They're pretty large. You could probably sit on them pretty easily or lie down on them.
I'll pick one up, see what happens. Like check them out.
It's a fine quality pillow. Yeah, velvet, poofy.
My pillow. My pillow. Okay. There's nothing that I can see from where I am though. In the symbol up above, it's not going to be hidden. It's not. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand in the circle though. I'm going to open myself and try to feel the presence again, and then invite it in, and guide for.
Yeah, give me a wisdom nature check as you kind of try to open yourself up to.
See if I can do it again.
Just roll survival, it's easiest. As long as you're proficient in nature, of course.
Oh, phew. It's just rolled off the two. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, Blackwind, as you kind of like think and meditate a little bit, you suddenly feel like wind, like hear the rustle of like leaves and stuff, and you look around and you can see all around you looks like it's a wide open like jungle. The dinosaurs are moving about. They don't seem to have noticed you. They don't move into the room. Just kind of moving around. A big ring of like pterodactyls wheels overhead in the sky. Shortly thereafter, you see what looks to be like a darkness encroaching on the jungle, and a large, what looks like a Tyrannosaurus, kind of like lumbers towards you. Except it's like, I mean, it's probably like 30, 40 feet tall, kind of like almost like golden scales with like a mane of like multicolored feathers, and it kind of like glances at you and roars, and then dissipates into like a cloud of like butterflies. And then
I turned him into that.
It all goes back to like paintings and mosaics.
Oh wow, I took some bad acid then. So there's a darkness coming. I don't know what to make of that. Not yet. Okay. I will continue through the gate, I guess. Without
Sure. You thinking of anything?
through the black gate. Yeah. I'm just keeping myself open to the will of the of the Ubtao, I guess.
Okay. Give me a d12.
Guide me, Ubtao. Show me the way. Show me the money.
Oh, Blackwind, you're just a blessing to me timing wise for this session. So you stepped.
I got to the boss.
You step through into a large chamber. It looks like an audience chamber. There's a raised dais that of like silverish and like marble steps that raise up. There's a huge mosaic on the back of this gigantic like golden maze that continually seems to shift and rearrange itself. On the dais there is a platinum throne that looks like it would seat a giant quite easily.
Shit.
As far as you can tell, it's platinum. It's got a big symbol of Ubtao carved into it. You also see in the room, you see Zandala, because she rolled that first try. She is standing kind of up near where the throne is. So this is a good probably like 200 feet from where you're entering this room. Looking behind you, there's just a white portal. You don't see any other exits, no black portals at all. And she is kind of like standing. There is a man. He kind of in like leather boots. He has like a kind of like tidy looking goatee and brown hair. Looks fairly handsome, kind of middle-aged. He is kind of just like a couple steps down from where she's standing. And as you're entering, you see him. You're not sure what's going on, but there's some sort of like Zandala has her hands out, and there's some sort of like energy swirling around her and going towards him around his like temples. And you hear her say to him, she's like, "Finally, give me the ring." And that is where we will end today's session.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'd like to say that my thought guided me there.
I knew Zendala was evil. God damn
Spoiled.
it.
She's got an attitude.
All right, so we'll end our session here. So as per usual, although Sean, you haven't been with us before, but as per usual, we'll do a little bit of a round table. Just a rose and a thorn if you have one of each or more. Just what you liked or what you didn't about the session, or just general thoughts. So why don't we start with Ryan?
I love that the end session. It actually kind of reminded me. It's similar of the labyrinth that we did in the last campaign, the teleporting part. So minus the Gorgons. Continuously respawning and me having to deal with that. That was getting scary. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was neat, and it is a neat a puzzle, I guess. So yeah, super cool stuff right there. The thorn was at the beginning was the puzzle. Like I don't. It's mostly because of my theater of the mind skills. I don't picture stuff well in my head, to be honest, and I think it almost felt like either I was way off as everybody else, or everybody has their own, and it was just more confusing than I thought. Like it was much more zombies everywhere, and it would have been harder to deal with like that. But so it's just, I mean, once again, the thorn is mostly on my side of things, anyways.
Conceptualizing the scene, yeah.
Yeah, like I say, I don't actually have a very good mind's eye, It's very dark in
So
there.
this session must have been a little tough for you then, because this was major mind's eye. This session,
Well, especially with that one part, because it was really you had to get that idea. Like, and if you could tell, I wasn't really grasping the image very well of what was going on.
Yeah.
Like, other than the hat, got the hat.
Yeah, it might have been better if I actually just like pulled out a blank image and kind of like tried to draw it just a little bit, even crudely.
Yeah.
It might have been easier to visualize. So maybe
Well,
I'll keep that.
But
in mind
honestly, it's still mostly in my end of things, anyway. So it's not really so much a thorn on you. It's just that it's one of my skills that are lacking really overall. So it's harder for me to kind of personally.
Sure.
So, but overall, yeah, I mean, I like how this went totally. So
nice. John, what about you?
Well, the road's definitely going to be Sean coming on board, so I think
Yay!
It's nice to have another member to add to the group. Kudos to how you're playing it. I really like the voice and stuff. I think it's a nice personality. That will be fun. Thorn, I guess a little the puzzle. I think it could have gone actually way worse, but in terms of like just decision paralysis, but it's still very good. I'm really liking this temple we're in. Cool stuff is happening here. So seems to be mystery and intrigue all over. And I really liked Andre and Brad's conversation about the book in the library.
Nice.
I will give Brad inspiration, since I can't give him both.
Cool. All right. Sean, what about you? Do you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next. Like I said, Rose and stuff like that is just being back on stuff with the group again and stuff like that, being able to see everybody again and also interacting, play characters and all stuff again. I'm really excited also to do that. And yeah, other than that, like I said, I didn't really have any thorns stuff throughout the session also. I thought it was really good also for everybody trying to solve the puzzle and then getting together and then moving forward and yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And good job in your little exposition pieces that I gave you to pass to the party. I get in your backstory. I worked with him to be like, make sure you mention this and this and this if it comes up in conversation, and you hit all the points. So
really? I thought Sean was just making up all that stuff.
Listen,
throwing shit out there for Corey to deal with.
No.
That's how this goes.
Andre, you're next.
Yeah, great session. No thorns. I think we took a while figuring out how to rescue Donna Quinn, but I expected that we would take a while figuring out how to rescue Donna Quinn, so that wasn't a surprise for me there. Love the temple, like major Graven Hollow vibes, except like more labyrinthine, obviously. Less, go here to find your information. Like very, very intrigued just by the city, by what's going on in the temple. Loved the stuff with Masika. And then we've got whatever the hell's happening in the residential district, and more secrets and stuff. Azaka doing something, and Zendala being the evil monster that I always knew that she was.
You don't know. It's totally out of context right now. You don't know what's going on exactly.
He could have abandoned child issues, really.
And inspiration to John for Jonah once again trying to make sure to keep us on the level, and welcoming and encouraging Donna Quinn to further the game with animals now too.
God. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to have a discussion about that. Like, is there an intelligence cap level? Like, I understand like unicorns, but
if we had to get attacked by velociraptors, does that count? Anyway. All right. How about Brad?
Yeah, lots of fun. Great to finally have Sean back in. Excited to see Donna Quinn in action, both from a combat, but also a what the character's gonna do and act like that. Yeah, Temple is pretty rad, pretty it's confusing but in a good way, and cool. I like it a lot. And say inspiration to Andre for really good RP stuff in general.
Well, thanks.
Cool. Liz, you're last but not least.
How does the puzzle work? God. I hate puzzles I can't figure out. If there's no solution, I'm quitting the game.
Oh, Lord.
It can't be completely random. There has to be a way to work it. But it's at the same time, it's fun.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's just like because it's one of those things where it's like you're tracking it and then somebody rolls the number twice, but they don't go to the same place, and it's like, what? No, but I was. So yeah, the temple's fun. I'm gonna have to figure it out if I'm gonna map it. So that's great.
I mean, do it room by room.
Well, right, but I have to map it. You have to figure out how to actually get to the room you want to go to.
Sure.
That's the thing.
Well, and if there's no solution, then you have to know that.
Yeah.
And just say, the rooms are there, and if you get there, you get there.
To be honest, I think she kind of laid it out to us a little bit with feelings. I don't know if that was it.
That didn't seem to be working either, so I don't know. But yeah, obviously roses, puzzles are always fun. Having Sean back, I want to give inspiration to Sean for him introducing his character in that way, and Cole's RP was really good. Thorns, yeah, I think I thought like the puzzle, the quote unquote puzzle at the beginning to release him. I assumed the zombies were way more dangerous than just make a spark and you pull them away. Like I don't know. I guess I was reading the situation.
Me too.
Like when you say there's over 100 zombies, that feels incredibly dangerous. I guess I was reading it.
I had the feeling just
wrong.
Based on the description that it was like going, like trying to be down in the water even anywhere close to them was a non-option. So the challenge was getting him off of there without going down there at all.
That's what I thought too. So
it seemed like that was the challenge then.
Which is why I was trying to figure
they're
out.
just gonna shamble and it's super easy.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to figure out like every other option, and it ended up obviously
without setting off a zombie stampede. Here they come. I know that was the same thing. Same as exactly.
So, I mean, that would be my thorn, that it took a while and ended up being literally the easiest, simplest option. But
yeah. Well, for me, roses for me. Sean coming back obviously is great. I'm excited that you guys have a druid and a turtle in the party. Although technically you guys don't know he's a druid. He hasn't done anything yet, druidy. But not spell wise. Oh no, you cast good berry. He casts good berries. That's right.
I could get rid of all my healing spells. Finally.
That was good. Yeah, the temple. I'm glad you guys went to the temple first. Although I would have been equally happy if you guys went and checked out that camp in the agriculture. Honestly, I would have been happy no matter where you went, because I'm excited for a lot of different places in Mezro. So, but the temple is definitely an interesting thing. I figured you would go there pretty much one of the first places. So, it was fun. It's fun. A little bit. I have to say, a thorn for me is I really should have been writing down. Here, I need to actually. If you guys don't mind, just real quick, you can help me so I don't forget for next session, because in a week I will not remember.
The order?
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it Ubtao.
On the marching formation, but it's all green right now.
So who just had a turn? Blackwind, right?
That was
yeah.
Blackwind.
I was
Yeah,
first.
Blackwind.
Okay, so Blackwind, we'll pick up with you when we come back, I think. Or no, maybe not. So you are in the audience chamber.
Yeah, I just appeared there, which basically
Yeah.
was the cutoff times.
Yeah.
More or less.
Who's after Blackwind? Someone help.
Donna Quinn.
He's next.
Donna Quinn, and where are you right now?
The leaf room.
Oh, the with
Cylindrical room with the
Oh,
gold.
cylinder with the leaf.
the starburst with the
Tornado.
balconies.
But the thing is when he entered, he didn't see Jonah, but they were both
Right.
technically, so they're different rooms.
That's
Okay.
already happened
Has
with
their-
outside.
I'm
They're
sorry, it was
separate
just a very similar description, so I just wanted to make
Well,
sure that there
No, it's the
wasn't.
same room difference.
Similar.
I don't know that it is because outside is not outside.
Yeah,
So who,
the quote-unquote outside isn't actually outside. So
who's after Donna Quinn?
Sure.
Archie.
Archie.
Well, Archie, and then Archie went again before I did. So I think we skipped
Yeah.
Archie's first one, and we just went to Baz instead.
Because Archie, you were on the balcony, you jumped through and appeared back in the hall, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hall of Champions. That's where you are right now, and you're alone in there right now. Yeah, I'm sorry. And then who's after Archie?
Baz.
Baz is in the library.
Yep.
Then who's after Baz?
Jonah.
Jonah is in the room with the fire
Pillar
pillar.
of fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Aelin, and
In
you're
the
also in the
library.
library.
With the candlestick.
And then Zandala is in the audience room.
And
You guys can't see
Zaka
my note,
is-
right?
No. I don't think
Depends
so.
Where you're reading.
And Azaka's presumably outside.
Yeah, because Azaka went out the first white portal.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
assume that she is actually outside.
Yeah.
And then Masika, you guys don't know where she is, right?
Nope. Nobody's seen her.
For me, Seeks. Hi, everyone. I'm Mr. Me Seeks.
And I want to be careful here. You guys can't see this note, right?
I don't know where the note is, so I don't know where to
Okay.
see it.
Okay.
If it's under notes,
If you look under notes, can you see Ubtao Temple?
is it alphabetical, I guess? Uptow.
I don't.
You can search.
I don't.
There's a search bar.
S-
No. No notes. No Ubtao Temple notes.
Uptow over the mountain statue. Uptow Jaws.
Uptown girls.
She's an Uptow girl. Living in a jungle world.
Okay. Sorry, I was just making sure. Okay, I've got it. I've got it all. So we will pick up next week with, I guess, with Donna Quinn in the Starbush balcony room. Okay. Or with Blackwind. No, Blackwind just got there. Yeah. Okay. So you guys, yeah. So that good times. So we will end our session here.
If she kills Argus, I swear to God, I'm gonna riot.
Hey, but free ring.
Yeah.
Oh, I want
Cool
to
rig.
talk to him.
Can't possibly die from her. She's so.
But I don't think she is her.
But then again, she caught him unaware, though, so who knows?
I say
Dramatic
I
there.
don't think she is who I don't
You're
think
probably right there, too.
she reals
Yeah,
it.
but we need her paperwork. Don't.
No.
We need her paperwork. Well, this is where we'll end tonight's session. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Magic Mythal Tomb of Annihilation. We live stream our games nearly every Sunday night starting at 4 p.m. Pacific time here on Twitch. And you can catch up on weekly sessions as well on YouTube, link below. If you enjoy spending this time, consider giving the channel a follow, turning on notifications, and see when we go live and never miss an episode. Thank you again, and thank you to all my players. And welcome back, Sean. And until next time, have a good night, everybody.